For the last several years, I've been building my chest rigs, my battle belt, my bug out bags, all of that kind of stuff. But I've been doing it piece by piece. I've been buying, gear, the best gear I can afford, and for, what I think the value is there. And over time, I've been upgrading things and swapping things in and out of my different kits. And I've tried to make sure that individual components were solid and the bug out bag was a good bug out bag and the battle belt was a good battle belt. And I figured that all of these things individually would add up to a complete bug out system. And I've come to the realization that I was wrong. I think a lot of people do that, which is the same thing I've done for years, which is I want a good battle belt. I want a good X, I want a good Y, and I want a good Z. And together they magically will come together into a system that's going to keep me and my family safe. But here's where the flaw is. I've come to the realization that it's not about the individual pieces of kit. It's about how things come together into a system that's going to work together. And so I've been working for the last couple of months and I'm still working on it. This is not a I'm done video. It's about really putting things together, thinking about things, how they come together. And when you do that, you find problems that you would have never thought of otherwise when you just take the pieces of kit, you put it into a bag and you stick it on a shelf. But when you actually start trying to integrate things, try to get everything together, and you realize, oh my God, I've got all this redundancy that I don't necessarily need, and I'm short on the redundancy that I do want. Anyway, today I'm going to walk you through what I found, why building components is not the same thing as building a system. And here's what I'm going to be doing to fix it. Okay, so the way that I did this is I went through the existing kits that I had, right? I had already built a battle belt, I'd built a chest rig, I'd built all these different individual components. And so I captured what I had. Then I went and scoured the internet, looked at recommendation lists, watched other YouTube videos, and just kind of started putting everything together into this, it's honestly 5-page checklist. And maybe it's overkill. And what I did is I started to figure out how this all fit together, okay? And then I started looking for redundancies, and I would go through and I'd figure out, okay, well, if this is on my battle belt, then I don't need it in my chest rig, or this is on my chest rig, I don't need it somewhere else. Now, there's several different layers of this, right? So first is what's in my pockets. Some kind of pan, I'm gonna have pockets in it, and I'm gonna have, a wallet, pocket knife, phone. It's probably gonna go in my pockets. Then I'm going to be wearing some weather appropriate gear. So maybe it's a t-shirt, it's summertime, some jeans, or the pants I'm talking about. And, I obviously probably have underwear on, etc. But a watch, maybe some merino wool socks, and some boots, right? That's the next layer. But then after that is my belt. Now, the way that I look at it is these individual components build together. Again, that's the whole theme of this entire video, the whole theme of this entire concept. And I've been working on this thing for months, and I'm still not done. But I wanted to film this video because I think it's valuable to get out there. So on my battle belt, I've got 2 pistol mags. I've got a little flashlight, a rechargeable USB rechargeable flashlight. I've got a multi-tool, a water bottle, a dump pouch. I've got a med kit with tourniquet, etc., but I also have a tourniquet on the front. I have a survival knife that I'm a big fan of. It's a Becker BK7 maybe, I don't even remember. Pistol holster, obviously I don't want to show guns on YouTube because they get all pissy about it. And then I got a tourniquet up front, right? That's my battle belt. Now, if I have stuff on my battle belt, that doesn't necessarily mean I want to duplicate it in my chest rig, but maybe I do, but I want to think about it and make that decision. So within my checklist here, I have what goes into my chest rig. And again, the systems build off each other. So the idea is, at a very minimum, I have what's on my belt, right? But if I think there's going to be some kind of need for self-defense, like a serious need, obviously I have my pistol on my belt as a way to essentially fight my way to my rifle. But if I think that something's going to be happening, the threat level's a little bit higher, then I have my chest rig, right? So this is a chest rig that it's a custom build one. I've never found a pre-built chest rig that actually does everything that I want it to do in the way that I want to do it. I need a purpose-built one that solves my particular situation as a prepared civilian. And again, I'm a standalone, unit of one plus my family plus my group, but we're not the same thing as a platoon or a squad or a platoon within the Marine Corps, for example. But my chest rig has 8 magazines. Some of you may say that's way too much. Some of you may say that's not enough, but that's enough for me, at least the way that I think about things. My wife, she has less because she can carry less. And so trying to load her up with 12 magazines of ammo is just not going to work. So you have to kind of balance what you're capable of carrying as well as what your threat level is and what you think you need. But this is all the stuff that goes into it. What is it? I've got communications gear, dude wipes, gun wipes. I've got that is a Vortex rangefinder. I've got shooting glasses, ear pro, zip ties. I got my contact lens kit. I know some of you are saying, well, why don't you wear glasses? Well, the thing is I don't see good with glasses. I only see good with contact lenses. So I wear contact lenses because of the vision problems that I have. So you work with the bounds that you have. I have an extra tourniquet right in the rain notebook. I've got water tablets for water for purification, bug repellent, sunscreen, some face paint. I've got electrolytes, I've got some caffeine, glow sticks, etc., etc. If I ever get night vision or thermal, that's going in this too. But everything is organized, everything goes into its place. So here's the belt, here's what's in the belt, here's what I have, here's what I've packed actually into the belt. Here's my chest rig, here's the stuff that I have. Compass. What I don't have, as you can tell right now, is local printed area maps. But then I have all these things, but again, you see they're not packed up yet. Because they're not packed. They're sitting there on the Tupperware, on the totes. Here's more stuff. Since I printed this off, I have my small contact lens kit right there. So I have an X there now, etc., etc. See, right here. Night vision, monocular, thermal, skull crusher, nothing. I ain't got it yet because I haven't spent the money for it. But a lot of the reason why I'm doing this and showing it to you the way I am is to show you that even me, a YouTube prep channel, my stuff's a mess, right? A lot of times you see stuff, they'll show you like a behind the scenes of what their prep room looks like. And it's nice and it's clean and it's well organized. But I wanted to show you that it is a little messy. You could tell by my chest rig setup, right? Everything, I have a table over there, which was my starter of this whole rebuild, but everything spilled out on top of that table and now it's completely full. So I'm like, okay, as I get the chest rig, let me move the chest rig stuff off to the side. Let me move my med kit stuff off to the side. Let me show you some of all that stuff. Now I intentionally, well, or not intentionally, did not clean up for this video. I wanted to show you what it really is like down here. Now this is an unfinished basement, and so I have kind of all the room to play with that I want. Off in the distance you can see some aquatainers that are empty. Those are my empty ones. Like, you know, I've shown you guys my full ones before, or I think I did a post on it. But anyway, there's my bug out bag right there, sitting empty. This is all stuff going into it. We've got all kinds of stuff over here. We've got sleep system stuff. We've got some food, some protein bars. I've got my food bucket over here. I've got extra water stuff. Most of that stuff's actually extra. But coming over here, I've got my solar panel. I've got my backup field knife. I've got water filters. Battery packs, all this stuff. And again, everything is on the list. So I've got my state and region map up underneath over there, that battery pack. You see there's a Rand McNally map. Med kit, cookware kit, water filter, solar panel, battery bank, backup glasses. Oh, wait, I don't have my backup glasses down here because it's empty. It's the whole point. It's a process, guys and gals. Now this kit is for me. It may not work for you. I live in Virginia, I have a family, I have certain medical situations, I have certain physical capabilities to carry heavier gear versus not, versus et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But my idea is that I've got the chest rig for fighting, right? Then I've got the bug out bag for bugging out. Now, if somehow and the whole bug out bag for me is for 5 days. Right? I want to be able to bug out on foot and survive for 5 days. If I am in a situation where I have my car, or I have some means of carrying extra weight, whatever that be, then I have this extended sustainment option, right? With additional things to take me from 5 days to maybe 2 weeks, right? And so what do? I get a knife sharpener in there, I get more snacks, I get an additional fuel canister, I get a collapsible wood stove, folding saw, right? Some luxury items, and then more contact lens cleaner because I have to have contacts or I just can't see. And you guys, I know somebody's out there going, just wear glasses. Guys, it's not a vanity thing. Medically, I cannot see with glasses because of the eye situation I have. So you have to adapt your kit to your medical situation, to your health situation, to what you can carry. All right, moving on. So you have extended sustainment. So I've got stuff. I don't have everything. I need to get some more dinners and snacks and whatever for extended sustainment. But my regular bug out, I'm good for my 4 or 5 days. But then the way that I broke it down is I have what's called a battle pack kit. Now this is additional, if I get into a fighting situation, it's additional magazines, additional pistol magazines, tourniquets, hemostatic gauze, bandages, gloves, etc. And that's something that I pack into my bug out bag, so I track it just like that. Then I have winter sustainment, right? So then I have winter stuff that if for some reason I bug out in winter, I'm going to want to grab the winter sustainment pack, because that's going to give me all kinds of specific warm weather stuff or cold weather stuff to keep me warm in the winter. Extra winter socks, thermal tops, glove liners, extra hand warmers, a whoopee or insulated poncho. Then within my belt, I have my trauma kit. Well, here's the exact things that are in my trauma kit, right? And again, here's what I have, and here's what's packed into it. Then I have my medical kit, and that goes into my bug out bag, which is this right here. This gives me a splint. It gives me additional blister protection. It gives me, up here's a bunch of different types of medications. Here's pain medications. These ones are, antibiotics. What do I got in there? I've got doxycycline, Imodium AD, Sudafed, allergies, Claridins, all this stuff right here, guys. And all that is into these 2 little pill bags. And in the pill bags, I have descriptions of what they are. It's hard to read right now, but this is pain management. I've got Advil, Tylenol, and aspirin. And then it's basically the dosages on there and everything all written on there. Then up here is the other kind of medications, right? And this gives me additional medical capability. But then the medications go in the medical kit. The medical kit goes in the bug out bag. See how this all works together? Next up, you see there's a cookware kit. I've got a cookware kit right here. This little handy thing actually keeps it nice and tight so the lid stays on there. And this is actually an insulated thing so you can hold it when it's hot. Right, so there's the lid, and then here's all the stuff inside. All kinds. Oh, I snuck in some duct tape. It's not even on the list, but it's in there anyway. Look at that. Now, some of you may be looking at this table and going like, it looks like there's 2 sides, and you're right, because there is. This side is my side. This side has got my stuff. I mean, there's some duplicates over there, but when I was digging stuff out, when I was ordering things, I went ahead and ordered 2 so that I would have options for me and my wife. So this side over here is more my wife's side, right? Most part, the really life-sustaining type stuff we have on both sides of the table. Now, let's come over to here. This is a little work table I have over here. Hold on, the camera's moving. And then over here, there we go, little work table I have. But this is that battle kit that I was talking about. But this battle pack literally just slings over you, but it stores into the bug out bag itself. Now, maybe you can't carry all that, and that's fine. But then there's other stuff too. We have a hygiene kit, which is right there. That's what that is right there. I've got shower wipes in there, hand sanitizer, camp soap, feminine hygiene. I don't actually have that. That's for other people. Microfiber towel, body powder, deodorant, dude wipes if you got to go to the bathroom. Then I got my sleep. Again, the hygiene kit. Where does it go? It goes in the bug out bag, and everything's in there. I have everything, and it's packed into that container right there. Back to the table. I've got my sleep kit, right? Again, that goes in the bug out bag, a bivy sack, a top quilt, insulated sleeping pad. So right there's the top quilt. That's the insulated sleeping pad. That is the, where's the bivy? Here's the bivy right here. Then there's a pillow. And then what's that other thing up there? That's a tarp. I just recently got all of the tent stakes that I needed to, because I'm switching from a pure hammock system, portage that I just got for the stakes. Again, and that goes into the sleep kit. The sleep kit goes in the bug out bag. And then I have an additional, I have my 4-day food kit. So I know it said bug out for 5 days, but I figured my first day, when the SHTF starts, I have essentially, I will have partially been eating that day. So I really only need 4 days, plus maybe a little bit more. So protein bars, dehydrated breakfasts, etc. And for the food, I got this right here, which is full of Peak Refuel foods. And that gets split between me and my wife. Now, again, the stuff that's on this list may not be perfect for you, and where things are at on the list may not be perfect for you. Just because I think something should go on the belt doesn't mean that it should go on the belt for you. Maybe your physiology is different. Maybe some people don't like belts, right? Some people like chest rigs, some people like plate carriers. Do your thing. But take the items, put them where you think they go. Maybe you don't need some of this stuff. Because again, I live in a certain locale and I have a certain, for me, bugging out on foot to my bug out location if I ever had to bug out. And again, I'm not advocating bugging out, by the way. Stay at home. That's the best place to stay for as long as you can until you're absolutely forced to bug out. I should have probably led with that. So I know somebody's going to be in the comments, so you should never bug out. There are times when you should bug out, but it's not your first choice. Anyway, there are some things on this list that you may not need because mine is a 5-day hike. If I had to go on foot, obviously in a car, it'd be like an hour. But nevertheless, if it's on foot, it might be a while, and I want to make sure it's actually 4 days, but 1 day buffer just in case. It's the kind of thing you should be doing about how these different things build on each other, right? The medication goes into the medical kit, which then goes into the bug out bag, right? And all these things build up to give you capability and options if anything were ever to really happen like this. Work with your kit, make sure you can wear your belt, make sure you can wear your bag, your chest rig, and it all fits together and you can actually carry it all for an extended period of time without dying under the weight and heat exhaustion and all that other crap. Anyway, hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, it would do me a huge favor if you would hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.